days away from the big day Saturday, Election Day. Heading to your local primary schools, your sausage sizzles, everyone voting. And we are joined in the studio for the first time, Opposition Leader Peter Dutton. Welcome to the show.
I feel really honoured to be here in the studio. Thank you.
It's great. Great to have you. Now, how is this week playing out for you? Because this is your grand final.
This is GF week, so...
Are you running on caffeine? You landed in Melbourne at midnight,
yes.
And you're here looking great. You look wide awake. How are you doing this?
I wish that were true. Well, it's just, I think you're running on fumes now, but it's just been the last 35, 36 days been crazy, but it's an opportunity to talk about what's in our country's best interest. And people obviously are over the ads and just want election day out of the way with and get on with their lives. I get all of that, but we live in the greatest country in the world. It's worth fighting for and protecting and defending, and that's what the debate's about. So that's really what we concentrate on over the last few days.
And what for? Because 3 million votes have already been lodged. I didn't realise that. That's a lot. But
You're one of them.
I am. I got in early,
yeah,
Peter.
I'm going to do the same.
Only because I just can't park around the primary schools on a Saturday. It's too hard. And
part of the
that sounds sus. No, sorry,
court
it sounds
action.
sus.
You can't
she has,
go to schools
when
during daylight hours.
You just said to Peter, I'm not allowed near primary schools. That sounds wrong.
Yeah.
I have issues with parking inspectors around primary schools.
Let's just be very clear.
She eats 15 sausages, so she
Anyway.
just doesn't want to do that. So she's done it early.
For anyone who is undecided, and I feel like there will be lots of people who are still undecided, and it all washes over you and you don't know what people are saying to you, what would you say right now to an undecided citizen?
I think there are a few really important issues that people are voting on. One is making sure that we can get young Australians into homes. So we've announced a policy which I think's been received really well. It's the interest on the first $650,000 of your mortgage as a first home buyer for the first 5 years will be tax deductible. So it works out to about $1,000 a month that people will get to help service their mortgage. It'll help them make application for the loan to the bank as well. So home ownership is a huge issue. We're going to cut migration to be able to do that because the government's brought in about 1 million people over the last couple of years, which is a record number, and that's created this housing crisis. So housing is big. Crime is huge as well, and we've announced a $750 million package. We want to crush the bikie gangs and the gangs that are selling drugs to our kids, that are buying the cars that they steal. I think we can make our communities a safer place. We also want to provide a tax cut for petrol, so 25 cents a litre off petrol straight away. That's going to help tradies, it'll help pensioners, it'll help families.
It's better than the Coles docket. It's normally 4 cents.
That's exactly right. So
Petro, 70 cents a litre.
And $1,200 back as by way of a tax rebate to help people now with the cost of living pressures that they're under, and then get the economy sorted out so we can bring inflation down and bring interest rates down.
Just off politics, just for a sec. Now, I watched...
Just fed that one off for a while.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, I'll get back to it because I actually watched the debate, the third one, and I want to talk about that. But I look at you every time you're on the TV. You've got great skin. Like, what moisturiser? You look so young. Everyone else, all other politicians look old, but your skin, do you moist? What do you do?
When people ask me, and they do in interviews, what's the highlight of the campaign so far? This could be the moment because no one's ever said that to me before.
But
so I really appreciate
you
it.
look so fresh.
Yeah. I wish it were true, mate. I'm 54. I look like I'm 64, but
I disagree. You're glowing. What do you do? Do you use something moisturiser?
I put some basic moisturiser on in the morning.
See, there it is.
And that's the extent of my beauty regime.
Mate, you look great. Now, I did watch the debate, and you both go back and forth. Are you mates?
Yeah, we can have a chat. If there's a national security issue or something we need to work on, we can have a conversation easily.
And there were so many big topics, and you just spoke about a lot then, but the one big topic that come out of that, which I don't think's that big and it's irrelevant, was the welcome to country. And that was all anyone talked about for the next couple of days. And they're still talking about it now. And it is used probably too much, but it is essential to do it sometimes. But do you think us Australians worry about little things that doesn't matter? That doesn't affect the way we live.
That shouldn't be deciding the election.
Yeah, that's irrelevant.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes, an unexpected issue can pop up and neither the Prime Minister or I raised the issue. It was a question asked by the commentator, so you respond and just, in my case, responded honestly. And I think it is overdone. I think it's respectful, but I think it detracts from the importance of and the significance of what it means when you're at a work meeting and everybody who's presenting, 10 presenters in the day at a conference or something, all do a welcome to country. I think it sort of demeans what it's about. So that was the point. But the election is, whilst the focus is on how many babies have been held or how many seats you've visited or how many kilometres you've travelled. All that sort of stuff is interesting. But the election really is a referendum on the last 3 years. So are you better off today than you were 3 years ago? Are you better in your own small business or in your own family? And that's the decision that people should be making. And I think there are a lot of Australians who say, actually, you know what, I've had a tough 3 years and it could get worse, particularly if it's a Labor Greens government, because there'll be big spending and that'll drive up interest rates.
Truer words never been spoken.
Because when I was doing my my ballot that I submitted early, Peter.
What'd you draw on it?
No, I didn't draw. I didn't do any drawings.
Right.
But the preferences is the confusing bit too, because just as you said, some people go, I don't want to get involved. I'll go for these obscure parties, not knowing that the votes. So who are you linked to?
Well, it depends on seat by seat. So in my electorate, the Clive Palmer candidate has been charged with serious allegations against him in relation to domestic violence and fraud or something, and so we've put him, near last. The Greens, I think, have had a shocker over the last 3 years. The anti-Semitism and their treatment of the Jewish community, I think, has been appalling. So they're last on most of our ballot papers. But you're right. It's really important to understand that if you're voting for an independent, which I wouldn't encourage because a parliament of independents just will be, a debacle. And ultimately, though, depending on who you put at number 2 or number 3, that's where your vote is going to end up. So in most cases, it'll depend on whether the Liberal Party or the Labor Party is put ahead of the other, and that's where the vote will ultimately end up. And a lot of people are angry about that because they say, well, why should my vote go to someone else that I really don't want it to end up with? But that's our system of democracy, and we're lucky we can do it peacefully.
Now, Peter, can I ask something quickly? Our producer around here, executive producer James Blake, is an absolute politics nerd. He's been melting all morning, running in. Peter Dutton, 17 minutes away.
His cars are arrived. They just pulled
If we
up.
look outside right now, the car's down there. He's melting.
We were
This is a
following
man
your
that will have an
motorcade.
election party on Saturday night. Do you have any tips for a good election party?
I think
James Blake?
plenty of. Well, we can do a live cross and see how it's going. That can work. That can work. But I think alcohol's the first essential ingredient. I'm sure of that. Responsible drinking as well, but not watching the ABC would be a good start. It's for any young ones listening at home, forget the ABC, and if you do that, you can probably start with a good night.
Now you're about to head off. You're on the campaign trail today in Melbourne, Victoria. Have you got one essential thing done? Have you got the bus working? Because you did conk out the other day in the Murray's bus. Everyone else was pushing it. It was pretty funny.
Mate, it's a media bus, so it's not ours. But I just think they're drinking and eating too much on the plane. Obviously, there's journalists, and so there's extra weight on the bus, and that's the only explanation. Otherwise, Murray's is a great company. They do well, but they got stuck the other day on the median strip.
It was so funny.
That poor driver, he's never going to live that down.
Ever. God, I laughed. It was funny.
Well, Peter Dutton, thank you for coming in the studio.
Thank you guys
Good
very
luck
much for having me. Thank you.
Saturday, and
the easiest one he's done, Boxy,
and don't
I
forget
reckon.
to vote, everybody. What? The easiest interview?
Yeah.
We're not that hard hitting when it comes to
Well,
politics.
and Nick, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Again,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Trying to
Does
get your
Elbow
vote.
send you a text on your birthday? Would you get one from?
Not generally for birthdays, but he and I have both spoken about it publicly. We get on fine. We disagree with each other on issues, and we can have points of difference, but we do it civilly.
Well done.
Yeah.
Peter Dutton, if you want to find out where to vote, aec.gov.au. Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.